In the world of peaceful community tanks, you expect harmony, mostly. But sometimes in the calmest corners of the aquarium a feud brews, an unlikely pint-sized rivalry that just won't quit. Today, I'll be telling you one of those strange tales from my tank, the ongoing, utterly perplexing standoff between my flamboyant Apistogramma Cacatuoides and my shy but surprisingly feisty Sparkling Gourami. Let's dive in. You'd think those two would ignore each other, one a bottom-dwelling cichlid, the other a mid-to-top level labyrinth fish. But nope, they've developed a distinct dislike, and I've got the footage to prove it. Get ready for some tiny terrors and head-scratching skirmishes. First, let's meet our main characters. On one side, we have my male Apistogramma Cacatuoides, the Cockatoo Dwarf Cichlid. He's a stunning little fish, full of personality, and like most Apistos, he definitely has his own territory. This specific one has its own dramatic backstory, in that it was one of a spawn of about 40, but he decided to get lost in the pump compartment of my fluval flex. And I only discovered him a couple of months after they hatched. He was much smaller than his siblings and severely malnourished. I nursed him back to health by myself, but he will always have this stunted growth, albeit with the attitude of a fish about twice his size. These days, he spends most of his time exploring the substrate and the lower regions of the tank, diligently guarding his chosen area. He's usually pretty chill with the other community fish, the corridors and cardinal tetras. And then we have the Sparkling Gourami, a gorgeous little fish known for its intricate iridescent blue patterns and usually its shy demeanor. This one is the last survivor of a group of 6 that moved into this tank a few years ago. He, by now, seems to have a secret aggressive streak, especially when he decides it's time for a challenge. Sparkling Gouramis are labyrinth fish, meaning they breathe air from the surface and usually keep to themselves or in small groups. They're not typically known for picking fights with other species, let alone a cichlid. So, with these two normally peaceful, spatially separated fish, why the beef? Let's get into the action. It started subtly. A brief chase, a flaring of fins, but now it's a regular occurrence. Here's one of their typical standoffs. You can see the Apisto here, posturing, trying to assert dominance. He's saying, "This is my zone." But surprisingly, the Gourami isn't always backing down completely. Sometimes the Gourami even initiates. He'll dart down from the midwater directly into the Apisto's perceived space. It's almost like he's taunting him. Notice the subtle, or maybe not so subtle, body language. The Apisto's fins are fully extended, colors intensified. The Gourami flares sideways with his brilliant blue sparkles, and sometimes even gives a little defiant dart back. It's never actual physical harm, no torn fins, no visible injuries. It's more of a display, a who's bigger and tougher contest. But the frequency is what's so odd. They'll do this several times a day across the tank. So, what's going on here? Why are these two tiny titans constantly at odds? I have a few theories. My first is of course territoriality. The Apistogramma is a cichlid, and even dwarf cichlids are known for defending their breeding or foraging grounds. Perhaps the Gourami is just accidentally or purposefully encroaching. But then there's the Gourami's behavior. Sparkling Gouramis are often described as having a subtle pecking order amongst themselves. Maybe this particular Gourami sees the Apisto as a rival for attention or food, despite their different needs. Another possibility would be food competition. But while the Apisto eats from the water column in the lower levels of the tank and sifts for food on the bottom, the Gourami eats from the water column everywhere. Ironically, here, during the feeding time, Both are more occupied with getting their share amongst the fast-moving cardinal tetras and corridoras than fighting over scraps with each other. Or is it just pure personality? Sometimes fish just don't like each other, much like people really. These two are both bold for their size, and maybe it's just a clash of personalities rather than a true territorial dispute. I've checked water parameters, adjusted feeding, even rearranged some decor, but the truce never lasts. When they cross paths, or even just to spice up and otherwise just another day in the tank, it's on for young and old. So the saga continues, my tank's very own soap opera starring an unlikely duo. It's a fascinating reminder that every fish has its own character, and even in a peaceful setup, drama can always find a way. I'll keep you updated if their relationship ever evolves into friendship, or an all-out war, hopefully not the latter. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever seen such strange rivalry in your aquarium? What do you think is causing this feud? Let me know your theories in the comments below. If you enjoyed this tale from the tank, please hit that like button, subscribe to Tales from the Tanks for more aquatic adventures, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss our next story. Thanks for watching.